One of the primary functions of the agricultural futures and options markets, indeed the very foundation of this industry, is hedging, the management of the price risks naturally inherent in the purchase or sale of commodities. In hedging, price risk is transferred from those seeking to reduce it to others willing to assume it in hopes of making a profit. This module will provide an overview of hedging in the grain markets, including who the hedgers are, the role of the speculator, and the types of strategies hedgers use to manage risk. Who are the hedgers in the grain market? Hedgers include those who need protection against declining prices, such as farmers, merchandisers, and grain elevators, as well as those looking for protection against rising prices, such as food processors, feed manufacturers, and importers. Hedging is essentially taking a position in the futures or options market that is opposite one's current position in the cash market. Since the cash and futures prices tend to move up and down together, any gains or losses in the cash market will be counterbalanced with gains or losses in the futures market. Take, for example, a farmer whose crop is still growing in the field. In market terminology, he has a long cash position. So, in order to hedge and lock in a selling price, he would take a short position in the futures market by selling futures contracts now and buying them back later when it is time to sell his crops in the cash market. On the other hand, livestock feeders, grain importers, food processors, and others who expect to acquire grain in the future have a short cash position. They would lock in a purchase price by taking a long position in the futures market. In other words, they would buy futures contracts now and sell them later when they are ready to purchase the grain that they need. Here is a good hedging rule of thumb for determining whether to buy or sell futures. If your future action includes selling in the cash market, an appropriate hedge today is selling futures. If your future action includes buying in the cash market, an appropriate hedge today is buying futures. Speculators facilitate hedging in the futures markets by taking the opposite side of most commercial trades. They are attracted to the market by the opportunity to realize a profit if they are correct in anticipating the direction and timing of price changes. In doing so, they provide market liquidity, which is the ability to enter and exit the market quickly, easily, and efficiently. A futures position is the most basic price risk management strategy for a grain seller or buyer. Again, a short position allows the seller to lock in a sell price in advance of the actual sale, providing protection against falling prices. And a long position lets a buyer lock in a purchase price and obtain protection against rising prices. But what if a hedger would like protection against adverse price movements, but still be able to benefit when the market moves in their favor? That's where options come in, providing protection plus flexibility for both grain buyers and sellers. There are two basic option strategies that a grain hedger could use. A grain buyer could purchase a call option, which gives the owner of that option the right but not the obligation to buy grain futures at a specific price. A call option allows a grain buyer to establish a maximum or ceiling price for the grain he is buying, while still being able to take advantage of lower prices in the cash market, should the opportunity arise. A grain seller, on the other hand, would purchase a put option, which gives the owner of that option the right but not the obligation to sell grain futures at a specific price. A put option allows a grain seller to establish a minimum or floor price for the grain he is selling, while still being able to take advantage of higher prices in the cash market, should the opportunity arise. This module only scratches the surface of the wide array of strategies that can be incorporated into a grain hedging program. No matter what a hedger's concerns are, CME Group Grain Futures and Options offer a variety of flexible choices to meet risk management needs.